So the first step I would do as a vibe coder would be to create a so-called product requirement document. Let's go to ChatGPT or any LLM that you like and use on a regular basis. You basically ask a few simple questions or prompt it in a way that I'm going to do just now. But before I start the prompt, let's refresh our brains on what are we going to build. We're going to build a web application that looks something like this. It has a Kanban feature, it has a sign up, sign in, it has a Supabase integration. Each of these ones are coming from one table from Supabase, and then I can drag and drop them. When I open one of these items, I can see their transcripts. So let's quickly build that UI in here just so that we can make an argument about it. So when I click on one of those things, then let's say if this is Alex Doe's profile, I can see Alex Doe's profile on the drawer opening in here, and then all the details are here, or the transcripts are here in this drawer, which we'll discuss definitely in upcoming videos. But just to give you a sense of what we are going to do is a web application like this that is based on the data that is captured by the agentic workflows that we have created with n8n and all these videos before. So I'm going to create a product requirement document. I'll show you how to create it, and then I'll stop the screen recording, and then I'll go in great detail and review it. This is the most important part of creating these product requirement documents, because this becomes literally the core of your entire workflow, or workflow of generating code with Claude Code. If you get it wrong here, the generated code will be not as you expect. Therefore, it makes sense to spend a lot of time here. So this is what I would prompt it with. Can you please create a Canvas document so that I can edit and modify specific areas of the document as we go? And it should be a product requirement document, a PRD, about the following product. It's called Samantha Lead Gen. It's a product that it's a full stack application made with Next.js and Supabase. The tables that Supabase contains is about leads. Every single lead is captured by a contact form. The contact form has the following fields: full name, email, phone number, LinkedIn, and the remarks. And as soon as this contact form is filled, a separate workflow that does not contain into this app that we are building, or it's not a part of this current product requirement document, is enriching that lead with a phone call. Somebody calls this, or an AI agent, a voice AI agent, calls this lead immediately as soon as they fill the form, and then they are engaged in a conversation, and this conversation is literally based on a prompt that is provided. And then the transcript of this phone call is saved in a table called phone calls. And additionally, also email communication is stored in a table called emails. Based on each phone call and each email communication, certain fields are extracted, and those fields could be user-defined, and then based on those fields, those fields are actually stored in the lead table. Those fields are extracted dynamically based on the prompt. So we need to think about a solution that would make this dynamic. For example, one possible prompt is that we can use this tool for lead qualification of a monthly cohort, a boot camp, vibe coding, and n8n training boot camp about voice AI technology and Next.js voice Supabase and so on. And then the columns that are required from there is, do you have at least 10 hours per week to work on your projects during the 4 weeks of the boot camp? Are you okay with asynchronous communication? Do you need any financial support? These are the basic 3 questions that I would like to ask a lead. And my voice AI agent on my behalf engages with the leads and then extracts those answers and then puts it in this table called leads. And it can happen over multiple calls. Therefore, there should be one-to-many relationship between the lead and the phone call and lead and the email tables. And the front end should be the entire web application should be a full stack application built in Next.js and Tailwind CSS and Eero UI CSS library or component library. It should be with TypeScript, and we should have a very clean code structure, clean, tiny files, not super complicated components. Separation of concerns must be considered, and we must consider that it should be responsive, displayed in mobile UI or iPad in different screen sizes. And the main page after the login should be a dashboard that is just a Kanban, and I should have I should see all the leads in one column. In the very first column, which is called, the first column is called leads. The second column is called qualified. The third column is called disqualified. The fourth column is called discovery call scheduled. Indeed, one important part of this voice call via the voice AI agent is that we allow the users to book an appointment on the phone call. So if the user is qualified based on those 3 questions, then the voice AI agent has access to the Google Calendar and then can also do a booking. And so is the case with the email. So if the email qualifies the person, it can send an email with Google Calendar link for booking an appointment. Now, the eventual user interface that I would like to see is a Kanban where I can move the cards from left to right with all those mentioned columns. And each card is one lead. If I open them, I can see their respective phone calls and the transcript of the phone calls, the metadata of the phone calls, like the call time and the phone number of the lead and so on. And also, I can see the emails that are communicated and that are synchronized, sent back and forth from the emails table. And I can also change anything there in that transcript. I can edit it, I can delete leads, and so on. All right, so there should be no time-related information in this PRD. So now I am going to see the entire PRD generated by ChatGPT. Since it was a very large transcript, it took a long time. Okay, now this is going to create this canvas format with all the details. What's important here is, as I mentioned before, that you review this in great detail. What I will do is I will stop the recording now and I will review it in great detail, and I will add comments in places where I don't see it right. For example, if I find out that apparently this is so small, like really small, smaller than what I thought because I spoke for a very long time, there must be something wrong with the dictation tool. But the reason I spoke that out loud is to give you a general sense of what needs to be discussed in the PRD. But if this technical problem would have not occurred um, in this recording of the PRD, this microphone, we would have had a little bit more detailed PRD, having discussed all the aspects that I mentioned there. I will regenerate this. The main idea here is, like, if you find out that it misunderstood a part, you select that part and then you ask the AI to change that particular part with something that you want to do. For example, we need sign up as well. Just an example, but that's what I want to do. Once this is entirely done, then we'll see it in the next video where we copy the entire PRD document and then we do something with it inside the Claude Code. So with that, see you in the next video.